You say you were furious when the defendant asked you for a DNA test on your 7-month-old daughter, Iliana. Yes. Now you claim that request has broken up your happy home. Mr. Bolton, you state you have reason to believe Ms. Beto's child may not be your biological daughter. You say you are desperate to discover the truth because you've already grown to love her as your own.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bolton, this is not your first time in this courtroom.
That's not.
Here's what happened previously. So how convinced are you now that Mr. Bolton is?
I'm very convinced because I only slept with 3 men at that time.
If he is mine, I would step forward and do 110%, even better. I actually got myself involved in this young man's life. Most men wouldn't. I'm actually taking him on the weekends when it's available.
When it comes to 4-year-old Micah, Mr. Bolton, you are not his father. Mr. Bolton, so what has happened since you were last here?
Since last time I was in court, I was very devastated to find out the news about the young boy not being mine. But in the same sense, I was happy because Ms. Beto was pregnant with a child. Child supposed to be mine. See, Your Honor, here's the thing. When the baby was born, I cut the umbilical cord, the doctors wiped the baby off, and they gave Ms. Beto the baby at first. She was still fatigued from delivering birth.
Understandably.
So they gave me the baby. The doctor that gave the procedure to deliver the baby, he handed me the baby and he looked at me. He said, "Are you sure this baby's yours?" And I looked at the doctor. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Because this baby's white." I'm looking at him like, "What do you mean this baby's white?"
Jerome, have you ever heard of such?
But
that's a first for me.
This is the reason. This is the reason.
Let me see your evidence. That's a picture of...
This is a picture of Iliana when she was first born. And when the doctor made that comment, this is the reason why we're here right there.
Okay, Your Honor, let me just say this. We are, that was stupid. We're mixed. I'm Dominican and black. He's Puerto Rican and black. People in my family have different color eyes. My eyes are hazel. My father's eyes are green. He told me that when he was a young boy, when he was a baby, as a matter of fact, his eyes were blue and then they turned green. So I don't see where the doubt is. The doubt began because people continuously said, "Oh, she's white. Oh my God, she's so white. Oh, she's so white." What's wrong with that?
Well, when the doctor asks you,
look,
you know, before congratulations, are you sure this is your child? That's doubt.
This has like happened before in my life. This situation here is like, when I was young, I was dating a stripper, and she had a baby, all right? She disappeared. What reason, I don't know, but when she finally came back, we figured out that baby wasn't mine. Got my name off the birth certificate, finally. Second time this has happened in my life, a young lady got pregnant, but come to find out, she was dealing with somebody that I knew. She didn't know we knew each other. She got pregnant, we talked, me and the guy, we talked, and we trying to find out what's going on. She got abortion immediately because she didn't know who the father was. And the third time was when I came on the court to find out the DNA test from Micah and found out he wasn't mine. So it's like I have strong reason to get a DNA test to figure out what's going on.
So in your lifetime, 3 times,
yes, ma'am,
someone has claimed you're the father of their child.
Yes, ma'am.
But you weren't.
I wasn't.
And now you're here again. Did you sleep with someone else without using protection?
I did. And let me tell you, it wasn't like that. I left him and it wasn't like, "Oh, hey, I'm single, let's go party." You know, it was more like I was hurt. It had been a month later. I just went out, hanging out. And one thing led to another. I saw a guy I liked, but we actually slept together twice. The first time was unprotected. The second time was protected. And after that, as a matter of fact, I spoke to him after that, but we never had any type of relationship or anything.
She wasn't answering my phone calls for a while. After, you know,
Why should I?
I cheated on her, okay? So now we're working on something, trying to get back together. When we finally get back together, this is when she's admitting that, yeah, I slept with somebody.
Your Honor.
Because at first she says it's none of my business when I went to go see her.
Exactly.
Now she's telling me out of her mouth, okay,
Your
this
Honor,
is what happened.
he continued to badger me about it.
She's admitted in open court that she slept with someone else one time at least without protection.
Right.
And Mr. Bolton, you believe that this man could be the father.
Yeah.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Bolton, you are her father.
Que yo dice, but what I tell you.
Iliana, can I ask Ms. Bilo a question?
Yes, you may.
You don't got no questions for me.
Everything speaks for itself, because that's what you told me. Actions.
Gotta say yes.
Lord, I do though. Will you marry me?
Yes.
Does it fit?
Oh yeah, and it's pretty.
This is beautiful to see. I'm very happy for you. Marriage takes work, and I want you all to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
So happy for you. Court is adjourned. Ms. Moore, this is your second appearance before the court. Now, when you were last here, it was to reveal a secret you'd kept from your son for 29 years. He then received the heartbreaking news that the man he'd always known as his dad was not his biological father. You testified that the very same thing happened to you with your mother. So today you are here to break the cycle because another of your sons, Mr. Cooper, has a child whose paternity is also in question. Now, Mr. Cooper, you say your wife, Mrs. Cooper, was secretly sleeping with you and another man around the same time she conceived your daughter. You now seek the truth about your child's paternity because you say you've learned from your mother that secrets and lies can nearly destroy a family. Now, Mrs. Cooper, you admit to an affair, but say you are certain Mr. Cooper is the father of your child. You state you are here today to prove it and also want to confront your mother-in-law, Mrs. Moore, because you feel she's meddling in your marriage.
At that time I was, but I wasn't. Me and Walter were on the outs. Walter has cheated on me so much that at that time, what I did was I wanted Walter to feel all the pain that he had inflicted on me all them years. We've been off and on for 9 years. The first 4 years of our relationship, he cheated on me the whole time.
So you admit.
Yep. I admitted that I did cheat. He did not show no attention, no affection. There was nothing between us. I mean, he didn't even look at me the same. He would sit there on his electronics like I didn't even exist, like his other children didn't exist. We weren't even visible to him.
When I look at Armani, I don't see me.
So, Ms. Cooper, I see you're very emotional.
When I conceived, I was with Walter. We both went to the doctors and asked them for advice on conception day and everything. They told me I conceived at the end of June. At that time, I was with Walter. Yes, I slept with the other guy in July, but by that time, I was already pregnant. The doctors even confirmed all of that.
When I look at Armani, I don't see, and I'm not trying to make this a racial thing, I don't see a blackness in her.
Okay, but if you look down his family line, he's got white in his family line.
When you met Mrs. Cooper, she was pregnant by another man.
By another man.
And you signed the birth certificate.
No, she would not allow me to sign the birth certificate.
But you
at that time.
offered.
I offered.
Okay.
And to this day, raising those
Yeah,
kids.
I still raise him.
So as you look at Armani, how convinced are you that you could be her father?
It's a 50-50. It's something I can be honest with you. All right? It's
And
50.
Mrs. Cooper?
I believe in my heart that that's his. That's his baby.
And as you look at her, do you see
I see him
Mr.
in
Cooper?
her. If you look at her face, her eyes change colors just like his does. I have brown eyes. She obviously didn't get it from me. All my other kids have brown eyes. Obviously, that's where they got it from. His eyes change colors depending on his mood. Hers does the same thing. I know he always says, well, I'm around her, that's how she gets my attitude, moods, whatever. She's just like him. I mean, they sleep the same way, everything. I mean, she's a spitting image of my younger son, which is his. So, I mean, she's his. She's his.
Yana, I hope that this is my biological granddaughter. However, if it's not, then I feel like Ashley should really reach down deep inside of herself, and Kit, or Walter, I call him Kit, that's his nickname. Walter need to reach down inside himself. They need to come together and get it done.
When it comes to the paternity of 1-year-old Armani Nairi Cooper, Mr. Cooper, you are not her father.
You know I still love you. This is something you all gonna have to work through. Listen to me, Ashley. Hold your head up. You have children that now you have to stand up and be a real mother. You have a little girl, and you cannot let her make the same mistakes. And we all make mistakes, Ashley.
You seem stunned.
It doesn't change the way I feel about Armani. You know what I'm saying? I'm a strong man, I'm gonna stand strong, and I do strong things. And this is my strongest battle, and I'm gonna stand there for that.
I hope you understand. I know this was not the news you wanted. I know it's probably difficult for you because sometimes the truth
Hurts.
Thank you. Ms. Tillis, you are back in my courtroom today for a second time.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying, Ms. Tillis, he was jealous?
Yeah, I
Of
would
what?
talk to my friend on the phone.
What friend?
My friend from years before him.
Why were you on the phone with him, living in his house, and that's your boyfriend?
Thank you. Why am I looking at your phone and you got nude pictures going to your ex? Why you ain't with that ex?
Well, now you say Mr. Jalik is denying your 6-month-old daughter, Gianni, because he is confused and delusional. But you have no doubt, you say, that he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jalik, you say Ms. Tillis has demonstrated questionable behavior. And until you are given 100% proof that you are the father, you cannot and will not fully commit to claiming Gianni as your biological daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Tillis, tell the court, why are today's proceedings so important to you?
Because the last time we were here, he denied our 2-year-old son, and I'm here today to prove to him that he is Gianni's father. It's very important to me and him, and I just want the inconsistency to stop, him being hot and cold with Gianni. If I have to be a full-time mother, then he needs to be a full-time father. He needs to be there the same amount of time that I'm there with them.
And you're feeling frustrated because this paternity question is allowing Mr. Jalik to be on and off like a faucet.
Yes.
Sometimes running hot, sometimes running cold.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sometimes just running.
Yes.
Yes.
My son's birthday was here, July the 29th. He turned 2 here. So the week before my son's birthday, I guess you can say we cooled down, we kind of reconciled our differences because his birthday was coming up. So we may have had sex the week before my son's birthday. Between the rest of this, the red and the black these days right here, we wasn't even dealing with each other because this was me out of state, and right before his birthday, she called me like, is it gonna be drama if I let you know, come to where he at? I'm like, it's about him, it's not about us right now. So here is where me and Ms. Tillis may have had sex, the end of July.
All right, so.
And what I have here, Gianni was born April 1st,
Okay.
2019.
Tell her when my due date was, though.
I don't know. She was not premature. She was not born a preemie. She was full healthy on April the 1st. So when I did my calculation, I'm like, wait a minute. If I was out of town during the end of June coming into July, and she was born healthy on April the 1st, the time frame don't add up. That means you was already
counted
pregnant.
back.
Yes, ma'am. That would have put her window conception up here around the time I wasn't even in the city. I picked the phone up from my son, because he was like, Dada, Dada, and I picked him up and sat him in my lap. He had her phone that's open. I directly went to her gallery. In Miss Tillis's photos, you have a picture of a month-old, fresh newborn, which is right here, and one of her ex-boyfriends cropped together in her phone. The baby ain't even 60 days old yet. Why is you cropping a picture of my daughter with your ex?
That's a great question.
And I told him, I was on the phone with my sister, you know, like I could say, oh, you look
Don't
like...
none of that make sense. I could be on the phone with my brother, but I ain't finna crop no picture of my brother's child and put another person on it. Come on now.
This does seem a little odd. I mean, what would possess
if my
you?
sister is not there for me to be like, how does she look like this person right here? So I put the picture of them together and I sent it to my sister.
Hold on. You going on and on when I say hold on does not give you any more credibility. It just makes you look like you making up a bunch of nonsense.
It's not them test results.
The truth is right now in this moment, you have a very real issue that you need to be honest enough to deal with. If you gonna align another man's picture up with your newborn baby's face, you are obviously trying to prove or disprove something. Either way, it's problematic.
Very.
I guess.
So, Mr. Jalik, you only make boys.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we've heard that said in our courtroom before.
All I make is NFL and NBA stars. All I make. That's it. That's all I produce. And scholars. That's it.
And scholars.
And scholars.
And scholars. And scholars, too. So let me be clear. How many children do you have?
4.
So you have 4 boys.
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe you only make boys.
That's all I got.
So do you have any other evidence to support the fact that you just make boys?
I was told a long time ago by a family member.
Right.
That's all I was gonna ever make because that's all I was producing. And I believe it wholeheartedly. So the fact that here come out of nowhere, a curveball, which is a beautiful blessing right here, maybe she is, maybe she not. And again, the last time I was here, I told you honestly, the mom is a little friendly.
In the case of Tillis versus Jalik, when it comes to 6-month-old Gianni Jalik, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Jalik, you are the father. You got your first little girl. Congratulations. You must have drank a different smoothie that day.
Gonna have to switch up your juice.
Yeah, so I'm proud. You know, like I said, I'm human. You show me a newborn that's supposed to be mine, and she cropped with another ex. I mean, that's gonna be.
We know why you had doubt. That's the past. What I'm looking at is. I told you. Listen. I'm not going back over that. I'm sick of hearing y'all argue back and forth about nothing. The baby is his. You have been vindicated again, Miss Tillis. This is his child. What are you gonna do now?
Same thing I've been doing since she was born April the 1st. Be her father.
Be in and out, because I'm done with that.
That's
gonna have to stop.
Mr. Jalik, you're a man with a lot to say. You're a man with a lot to say.
You know what they say about that.
And you seem to have answers and reasoning for everything. You produce scholars, so I am going to speak to your intellect and your intelligence right now.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know this woman want to be with you. I want you to think about it, and I want you to work through it and talk about it, and figure out what you want to do, then figure out how to do it, all right? And this time, you have the truth as the foundation to move forward. I don't want to see you all back in here again.